Hi everybody, my name is Steven and welcome back to another tech review right here on Flying the Nest. Now in today's video, I've actually picked up the latest 2018 G6 model from Feiyutech. Now this is a gimbal for your GoPro and action cameras. Now I'm going to be putting this gimbal to the test to see if it's the ultimate gimbal for travel vlogging on your GoPro. If you are new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Now let's get into the unboxing. Alrighty, let's see what you get in the box. Now this is the 2018 release and it only came out a few weeks ago and it retails for a similar price to the official GoPro Karma Grip. Now if you want me to do a comparison between the two gimbals, make sure you leave a comment below. The complete package comes in at around 760 grams or 600 grams when you take out the battery to pack it in your carry-on luggage. It comes in a semi-hard case, which I honestly think is quite large for the actual device itself. Now the case has a protective lid for transportation as well as two secured Velcro straps as well as a box filled with charging utility cables. For the device itself, it's honestly quite small and lightweight. From what I've seen of the Karma Grip, this is a much cleaner, nicer, compact and more modern design. Now according to Feiyutech, this gimbal is waterproof, a step up from the water resistant G5 model of last year. So in terms of attaching the GoPro to the gimbal, it is super simple. You just unscrew the bolts, place the GoPro within and then tighten the bolts back up. Now the only downfall with this design is it does mean the power button is inaccessible, which means you're gonna have to loosen the bolts to get your finger in there to power the device back on. And because this gimbal is designed with the GoPro in mind, there is no weighting or counterbalance required. You just switch the device on and it's ready to go. Honestly, I wish all gimbals were like this. So in terms of the features of the G6, it doesn't just work with your GoPro Hero 5 or 6, it actually works with the Sony RX0 as well. You've got a joystick in the middle which will move the gimbal around. You've got a record button, a thread mount which allows you to attach a microphone as well, including a mount for a tripod. You can attach a cable from the GoPro into the gimbal and it will keep a constant charge on your GoPro. Now the trigger on the back will lock the gimbal in place for your steady movements. The left and right trigger will level the gimbal. And of course you have your power button and mode button which will switch on the device as well as switch between the different modes. Now in this new 2018 model you have a brand new LCD screen which is fantastic because it gives you new details such as your battery percentage level as well as what mode you are currently on. So let's quickly go through the different modes that you can do on this device. Now the first mode is called panning mode. This is done by pressing the mode button once and the gimbal will follow all your horizontal movements. Now this is perfect for scenes when you're trying to follow someone who is walking or running. In this mode you can also use the joystick. Now the second mode is the follow mode. This is done by tapping twice. So in this mode the gimbal will follow your horizontal and vertical movements. So if you move the gimbal down, you will see that the camera will look down. And if you move up, the camera will pan back up. Now the third feature is the lock mode. This can be done in either panning or following mode. Now to get into lock mode, you simply hold the back trigger button down. So this means the gimbal points the camera in the same direction no matter where you are moving. Like I said, you can use this in both panning and follow mode. So just say you're facing down and you want to keep the camera facing down, hold the trigger button, move backwards, and it will keep the camera locked in place. Now the final mode I'm going to chat to you about is the selfie mode. This is perfect for vloggers or travel vloggers out there that also want to speak to the camera. So the gimbal can turn 180 degrees to face towards you as well as turn back towards the action. So to get the gimbal to turn 180 degrees and into selfie mode, simply tap the mode button 3 times in quick succession. Once you're finished talking, if you want the camera to face back the other way, tap the trigger button on the back twice and it will return to a forward facing position. Alright, we are out here in Bali testing out the new G6. It is just after sunrise, perfect conditions to test this out. We're gonna go for a little walk around Bali this week.
It's okay. I don't have the pieces of your home, buried in the flashbacks. All these wicked nightmares have gone cold. Now we go way, way back, as far as way back goes. Still standing by us. Never show shifting shapes in millennia.
think one feature that I love about this gimbal is how simple it is to use. Just say you wanted to get a certain shot, like pointed it up at the sky, and you don't really want to be finicky with the joystick, you can honestly just point this up, hold for a few seconds, and it'll lock into place, and then you can just keep using it. Likewise, you can just push it back down, and it'll lock into place. This is really great if you're just looking at your friend and you're like, I just want to film you, and then you're good to go. Now, one final test I want to do is, do you actually need to pick up a gimbal? The GoPro Hero 6 is advertised as having inbuilt image stabilization, so you're probably thinking that that's good enough. So I'm gonna go do 2 tests. I'm gonna film something with the G6, and then I'm gonna film it with just the GoPro 6 by itself. Now, I hope you enjoyed that test footage that we shot in Bali. If you missed those vlogs, I'll link them below so you can see exactly what we got up to. It was a really fun trip. Now, in conclusion, I'm super impressed with the G6. This is lightweight, compact, which means it's not going to take up a lot of space and weight in my luggage, which is already way too much with all my camera gear. Now, looking back on the test footage, I was impressed with how it all turned out, which means I'm going to be adding the G6 to my vlogging kit this year, and I'm going to be taking it on a lot more trips. So whenever I need to use the GoPro for action shots, I'm going to be attaching it to this gimbal. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and I'd love to know your GoPro vlogging setup below. See you guys next time.
A little boxes on the hillside, a little boxes made ticky-tacky, little